Sorry, Universal. We don't scream for ice cream. Hey fellow Horror Night fans and Universal fans alike, I'm the Crazy Englishman and welcome back to another episode of Halloween Horror World, where we're going to be jumping right into the reviews with Clowns 3D Music by Slash. Now, I will be doing something special with the Orlando reviews, and I will be talking about that right after the end of the video. But for the time being, let's jump right into it. So, having watched Sharp Productions' walkthrough of Clowns 3D, I've gotten a pretty good impression. Now, when I review the Hollywood, the Hollywood mazes, I will be giving a little leeway into the review because I haven't actually experienced them myself. I've been going off what I've seen in the videos and using past experience to kind of build a better picture for myself about what it's like going through these mazes. I will be giving a little leeway. So even some of the mazes I don't think are good, I will be giving some decent points. I'll say, alright, well, I haven't actually experienced this myself, but this is what could have happened and what the scare factor is. I've also talked to a few friends that have attended these mazes in person, and I trust their opinion, so I'll be relying on kind of my personal experience from past years, coupled with their experiences, coupled with Sharp Productions' amazing walkthrough. And I will be posting the walkthrough in the description. Check out the walkthroughs because they are fantastic. And so they give me a really good picture on this review. So thank you, Sharp Productions, for your amazing work. So let's jump into Clowns 3D Music by Slash. First off, let's start with the facade. The facade, even though it's not really complex like many of the other facades are, it's definitely eye-catching. Because of the colors and because of the whole 3D aspect of the maze, it's definitely it definitely catches your eye because of the colors. It's a giant clown face with a little wind blowing through it, so it's definitely an interesting facade, but it's not like one of the more interesting ones I've seen in the past. But that be the key word, is definitely eye-catching, especially with the colors. As we move through the maze, here is where it goes downhill. There is a lot, and I repeat, a lot of reused sets in Clowns 3D. Now, I get it. I really do. And I appreciate it. The fact that Hollywood only has a certain amount of budget that they can use on Horror Nights. But to disguise it would be a little better, would be a good thing. The whole way, I believe, is reused from Alice Cooper Goes to Hell back in, I believe, 2012? Yes, I believe it was 2012. So it kind of distracts from, for veterans of Horror Nights, it definitely catches your eye because you recognize it and then you're suddenly sucked out of the experience. The best way would be to kind of alter them a little bit, maybe chop them and kind of Tetris them to make them a little altered, kind of mess them up a little bit. And this key aspect will actually come into another maze that I'll be reviewing later on. But with Clowns 3D, there's a lot of reused props in it, and it does take it away. But what are the sets like? Apart from what I've said about the reused, some of them are really cool, but some of them come across as very generic. This is that would be a key word for this maze. It's very generic, and I was afraid of this. I wanted to be optimistic. Whenever I hear a maze that gets revealed, and even it's one that I'm like, okay, well, maybe this will work, but probably not. I want to be optimistic. I want to go, oh, you changed my mind. This is actually really good. Clowns 3D is a very generic maze, and it's what I feared it would be. The clown aspect is kind of taken away. But the sets are very generic. There's nothing that say, oh wow, I've never seen that before, or this is a very interesting little locale, this is a scene I'm going to remember. it's a very forgettable scene-filled maze. Let's talk about the scare actors. Now this is where the maze shines actually really well. Again, the leeway. I will be pointing out the good parts of the maze. The scare actors are, from what I saw, are actually having a lot of fun with this maze because of the kind of comedic slash comical side with clowns. From what I saw, they did a really good job. Some of the makeup for the clowns looked fantastic. But that's really all I can say for that maze. It's the best part of the maze is the scare actors, because they're really into it. They're really enjoying what they're doing. So in the scare field, because I haven't experienced it in person, from the reactions I saw from Sharp's two co-hosts, they did really well. They even got the guy that was with him. So scares, they're really good. I think they're on par with what we've seen in the past with Horror Nights in terms of the scare actor training. Something that will be coming up in a future video. So moving on from that, I feel that, let's talk about the 3D effect. 3D honestly needs to die out at Hollywood. It does not work. I've heard some people, and this is just my opinion, if you really enjoy it, that's fine. I respect that. But for me, 3D never works in these mazes. The problem being is it makes it too bright. Horror really works where you can't really see what it is that's coming up. The scares are kind of disguised in the dark or a dimly lit maze environment. But when you have something as bright as Clowns 3D or any other 3D maze, it takes you away from that kind of scare. I walked through Black Sabbath last year, and I wasn't scared almost by anything. In fact, the scariest part of the maze was actually the darker parts in the War Pigs section. But it really takes you out of that experience of horror. I guess on the flip side, when you have so many dark mazes this year, it's a kind of change of pace. So I can give a little leeway to that aspect, because you get a lot of these really darker mazes, a lot more serious mazes, and the 3D brightness really, I guess, is a kind of change of pace, more of a relaxed tone. So yeah, the 3D I think can do without. So overall, what do I think of Clowns 3D? What would I rate it? Now, given the leeway and given what I think, I would have scored it a lot lower. But the scares, from what I saw, the makeup and costumes for the clowns, really well done. So I was good. Barring that, I'd probably give it a 4.5 out of 10. But because I really thought the scare actors were really into it, really loving what they were doing, the scare locations were really well thought of, I would probably give this maze 6 out of 10. It isn't a great maze, and it wasn't a standout maze of 2014, but given some leeway, it looked like it could be a change of pace. It was fun, but overall, my thoughts of it: 3D really needs to die out. Clowns are done; they really are. Hollywood needs to take a break from clowns, because honestly, they're not that scary anymore. But again, some of the costumes were really well done. The makeup on some of the clowns were actually kind of freaky, so I give it kudos for that. On a very lasting note, the music for Clowns 3D done by Slash was really cool. It's very catchy. So that's one of the things that contributes to the 6 out of 10. The music was really good, and I love Slash's music anyway, but like the music was very kind of that carnival theme, but it had a very catchy beat to it. So music definitely contributes to its factor of being a 6 out of 10. So those are my thoughts on Clown Clown 3D, Clowns 3D, music by Slash. Sorry. So what did you guys think? Do you guys really enjoy it? Did you kind of think it's smell? What do you guys think of the maze? Please feel free to leave a comment, because I love reading the comments and listening to your reactions to the mazes and that. So, a few quick announcements. I will not be reviewing Halloween Horror Nights Orlando. My parents will be. I will be having them as guest stars on one of my videos, and they will be doing an in-depth review as they got to experience it themselves. My father, as I've said in previous videos, is the one that got me into Horror Nights. He's been a fan of the event. He's been going even before Hollywood closed. Returned back in 2006, but he's been going to the event that was there previously before it went on hiatus. So I really appreciate their opinion. They love the event, so I definitely want to have them on to review the Orlando maze. I will be asking them questions, and yeah, so I hope you guys look forward to that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and review for Clowns 3D Music by Slash. If you've enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and until the next time, this is the Crazy Englishman signing off.